We're doing it, boys! Hey everyone, welcome to another Dark and Darker video. With the first wipe since early access launch just around the corner, I wanted to show you something that I've been practicing this week to get ready for the new season. That being the longsword. With a lot of love towards the warlock, I really wanted to up my longsword game to allow for some dynamic playstyles when people get up close and personal. Let's just jump straight into it and I'll show you what I've learned and things or tips and tricks that will help you hopefully get better too. So here's the parry in action. You hit it and it does some crazy damage, but let's go into a bit more detail or a bit more depth. I thought originally if an enemy's attack would hit the entire sword, that would give you the parry. However, that is not the case. What seems to be the case is anything from the crosshead towards the tip of the sword will allow you to have that parry. So if you say the top half of the sword, or essentially the bottom half of the sword when you're in that defensive stance. As you can see here, I've put a glow so you can easily see or easily identify what part of the sword I mean. Now, there's several other things that you need to keep in mind when you're trying to achieve these parries. The first thing I want to talk about is spatial awareness or even distance. As you can see from that first attack, I was actually stood too far away from the enemy, whereas on the second attack I go in a bit closer and I achieve that parry and I'm able to do the parry in the riposte. But when I say distance, I don't generally mean just get closer to your enemy. What I mean is every mob and every weapon that you see another player use, they all have their own ranges. So a longsword or a double axe is a lot longer than a flanged mace. So the first thing you need to do is try and figure out the different ranges of the different weapons that you're going to be coming against. And that just takes time and practice. Don't be too hard on yourself. Nice. The next thing you need to look out for is the trajectory of the weapon itself. For an example, the falchion first attack will be from your left, so you will have to make sure you're aiming a little to the left. It's not as simple as just looking at the target and hoping for the best. The same goes for blocking as a whole. With blocking, you need to make sure you cover yourself from the entire swing of the weapon, and in the same in blocking, distance or the size of the weapon and the trajectory of the weapon also comes into play. It's the same for the longsword, but the longsword block has such a smaller window than shield. The last thing to take into account is your positioning and your aiming. Now again, this depends on what type of attack you are trying to block and parry. We've mentioned the falchion a few times, so here's a clip so you can break it down.
Oh, he's shitting it.
As he pushes forward, I pull back to create some distance. Now, as he swings, I aim to the left to mitigate the swing, and it does actually connect. It doesn't show it on here when it's slowing down, but it does actually hit a parry, and we're able to get a headshot here. Now, that already shows that it's done quite a bit of damage because of his immediate response is to pull away.
Oh, he's shitting it.
As you can see in this clip, every time you block, your sword goes from top left down to the bottom right, so it goes in a diagonal motion. That means you typically want to stand a little bit to the left of your opponents, meaning they're going to attack the tip of your blade. Just remember, blocking with a longsword will take time, so I hope these pointers help you out in the dungeons. Get used to missing plenty at the start. Practice on different types of AI, and then when you feel comfortable, take it into the PvP battles. A grey longsword can also be bought by the weaponsmith for 10 gold. Now that's a bargain for when you're practicing. Sometimes it may not be there, but if it is there, try and buy a few. Because, like I said, you're probably going to miss a few at the start. But again, hope this video helped. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon. I need the practice. We're doing it, boys! We're fucking doing it! A big thank you to the supporters over on Patreon. If you're interested in watching our podcast live, exclusive behind the scenes access, early access on limited merch, and discounts, then head on over to patreon.com/AzzyUK.